Steve.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening, man?
I'll throw my video on. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. We could do audio too. Oh, hey, yeah. I'll show
Oh,
my...
yeah, Bob.
Yeah, that's me.
Cool.
What's happening, bro?
Oh, good, mate. Just waiting for you.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I got my other co-hosts, Bart and some dude.
Bart and some dude.
Yeah.
The one that's Bart says some dude's fucking stepdad on it,
Oh, okay.
which is me.
Hey, Bart.
Ignore my background. I'm literally in the process of moving.
Okay.
I know it looks like it because all my stuff is still there.
And that's some dude.
There he is.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see
Well,
you, man.
it's not good to see some dude, but
Yeah, never ever good to see some dude ever.
we bust a lot of balls. Sorry.
Yes, sort of our shtick.
So, dude, where are you in Ireland, man? Where are you located?
I'm actually in the UK at the moment.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
'Cause, although I live in Ireland, I work in the UK. So I'm over here working for a bit. I am my girlfriend's house.
What do you do?
I teach teenagers like outdoorsy stuff.
Oh, no kidding. That's awesome.
Navigating,
that is
navigating
awesome.
around the countryside and just how to cook food and set tents up and not get lost and first aid and shit like that. And,
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah.
So we found out about you guys about a year ago. We for St. Patrick's Day, we were like, let's find some Irish metal. Let's find bands from Ireland that are fucking brutal and
Cool.
and play it, you know?
Because
And
clearly I have no Irish in me at all.
Yeah, ginger, eh?
I'm not a ginger. It's only the beard. The top is actually like dirty blonde, but it's the whole thing. That's why they're laughing, because people call me a ginger, and I usually get pissed off at them. But you don't know me, so I absolutely, of course, have not. Have no problem with that. But that's why they're laughing at me.
I used to have a ginger friend, and he used to say he was strawberry blonde. So we're no longer friends anymore, so maybe he got pissed off at me.
Yeah, right.
Ginger.
for sure. That's awesome, man. So we found you guys about a year ago, and we play you pretty regularly. We have a bi-weekly show on an internet station here in New York called Bull Spike Radio. It's run by two brothers with muscular dystrophy, actually.
Okay.
And they've been running now. I think this is their 13th or something year. I don't even remember now. But I used to own a radio station, and this is sort of what I was all about, is finding bands from all over because music is everywhere, you know?
Cool.
So obviously you started like a long time ago, back in what, like the 90s, right?
Oh yeah, like Abaddon Incarnate, I think was officially 94, maybe the end of 94, start of 95. I can't really remember.
Right.
We all disagree on that one. But
Yeah.
it's a long time ago.
So you obviously remember a different time of music and getting music heard, as far as, you know, buying tapes and trading tapes and recording off the radio. Like me, I'm old, you know, I understand those, it was such a different time.
The good old days.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, you get into music through guys in school. We'd swap tapes. You'd make a little tape with the logo on it, and you'd write out all the details.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then eventually you start posting away to other people in different countries and swapping demos and recording shit off the radio. Like, used to get you'd have a bad reception on the radio. You'd have all that white noise crackle in the background.
Absolutely.
And you still listen to Obituary's new song, you know?
Yeah, or the DJ's talking over the intro or whatever. It's like, come on, man, no. You talked over the end of it. God damn it.
That's always the worst for me, is when they talk over it.
Yeah, over the beginning or the end. It's always that too. And you try to like cut that out. And the art of making a mixtape is lost on the new generation.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, no doubt.
They just don't have the skills, man. They'd be fucked, you know?
Yeah, well, they just don't have yeah, exactly. It's different now, man. It's totally different.
Dude, do you know if your brutal ass Irish metal has ever been broadcast on FM, like on public airwaves?
FM, yeah, we've definitely had a broadcast like in UK and Ireland and in Europe, but
awesome.
I'm only ever aware of internet stuff with the States, you know.
Yeah. Internet's got to be a blessing now for, bands like yourselves. You're getting way more able to, because people like us look for that. We're always
Yeah.
looking for new metal.
I mean, it's cool that it's so accessible, but there's like so much more shit around then as well.
Exactly.
It's so easy for people to produce material. So
Yeah.
It's like the market gets flooded. It's like some shit ends up being like white noise that like really should be heard,
Absolutely.
I mean, even now, if I'm going through social media or whatever, and people are putting up bands I like, I listen to it and then I'll forget about it,
Right.
because it's just so much. There's so much coming. Like I go, oh, that's a cool riff, and I'll come back to that later, and you just forget about it. And then there's like 10 more things that have come up since, and you're just like, ugh.
And along that same line, man, like we find so much shit and listen to so many. Well, I was going to say tapes, but albums. When we found your shit, both Nav and I were like, "Whoa,
Yeah, this is serious."
It's like, yeah,
this shit is going in our goes in our rotation. Absolutely.
And because of the inundation these days and the internet and stuff, the accessibility, that doesn't actually happen that often.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm actually quite flattered that we broke through that barrier. That we were able to be. I don't know. You can differentiate us from the multitudes of other bands around.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, have you checked out any other brutal Irish bands or?
Yeah, there was another one, dude. I don't remember the name of it though. Do you remember the name of it?
Well, like last St. Patty's Day, that's all we played was Irish metal bands, and I think we're going to do the same this year.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's the plan, and obviously broadcast our interview.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely.
So
I look in, with the whole Irish, a little bit of Irish in me. I tend to try to look for Irish shit, but like I never remember band names. Like just like we just said, there's just so much out there. I can never remember anybody's names, but like there's definitely a lot of good shit out there.
Well, for us, it wasn't it's the Brutality. Some dude and I are always looking for like the most crazy stuff, and yeah,
absolutely.
Like we found a band in Russia called Tacit Fury. That shit is so ridiculously brutal, and like bands from Indonesia. Like it's there's just so much. Music is universal. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So what?
Brutality isn't about how much noise is made. Brutality is about just like the ferocity of the whole thing. Like you don't necessarily need to make a shitload of noise to be really brutal.
Yeah.
In your case, you guys are really bringing the fucking pain, but that's not necessarily a requirement of brutal. But your shit is just brutal, man. I mean, like
it generally makes the brutal better in that way.
I think it's like the attitude and the way you deliver it. The way you play it, rather than just turning everything up to fucking 15 and
making noise.
Making noise. It's writing a song really at the end of the day as well.
In our quest for new music, we find a lot of really loud shit, but it's like lacking in that energy,
it doesn't have the energy, the depth, the audio quality to be able to differentiate different tracks sometimes.
So Steve, what influences? I know you said Obituary. What influences really got you like started down the path of like death metal as a a very specific genre?
Well, when I was like a young kid, I'd be listening to Nuclear Assault, Slayer, stuff like that. And then I think when I was about maybe 12 or 13, I saw Napalm Death on the TV. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to sing like that guy. I want to play like these guys. And that was like the old Napalm Death with Lee Dorian and Bill Steer.
Dude, it's funny you say you were 12. I actually last night I took my son, his favorite band in the whole world is Cannibal Corpse. And so last night we went up to Massachusetts, which is about 2 hours from us. And I took him and we saw Cannibal Corpse, Whitechapel, Revocation, and a band from Connecticut.
Oh, you went to a show?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, cool. And I took him to go see his first big time metal show, and it was his favorite band ever. So he'll remember that forever. So it's cool that you remember from being 12. I hope he does. I hope he remembers like, oh damn man, me and my dad went to that show.
I guess I went to my friend. He had a documentary recorded on a VHS about Deicide, I think.
Nice.
And I watched that and Evil Dead 2 at the same day, and my head was just
blown away. Right.
That is absolutely the fucking way to do it.
Right.
I discovered like both of those things on the same day. I think it's really fucked me up.
I think the current metal world is definitely lacking a lot of, raw meat being thrown into the audience.
Yeah, I think all the vegetarians would get upset.
They would. It would be definitely a weird thing.
It's funny too. There's like a whole like vein of like vegan death metal too. Like, there's a few bands out there that are like, they boast like we're really like vegan death metal.
We're gonna have Carcass,
right?
From fucking years ago. They always.
I still love Carcass. Yeah. That's just so funny. They're called Carcass, but
they're vegans.
No meat. And then cattle decapitation.
Oh, dude,
right?
Cattle decap is ridiculous. Oh
and that's honestly that's who I was thinking of when I said that.
Yeah, I mean that band's so good.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird message because if you see their artwork, it's just so fucking brutal and gory, and I guess that's the idea,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So my son wanted to know, as a singer, right? How do you learn how to do those ridiculous growling without destroying your voice? How do you do that?
Oh man, I think I'm quite a good mimic. I can imitate people's accents and stuff, and I guess. I could just listen to these people singing, like, Dave Vincent or Glenn Benton or Lee Dorian or whatever, and I just wanted to copy it when I was jamming with my band. So I think I've just, and if you just do it every week, you kind of build up a tolerance to it.
It's like a muscle.
I mean, years ago when we started touring first, I'd normally burn myself out on the first 2 gigs, and then I'd be fucked for the next 5 gigs or whatever. But now I've learned to pace myself, and, I can look after my voice a bit better. Also, don't smoke. I used to smoke. I just trying to stay away from drugs and shit like that.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have like a warm up routine before you go do a set, or you just?
Yeah, I would. I just growl like for about 20 seconds before I got just to make sure it's working.
What I used to do. It's my stuff isn't quite as brutal as that. I'm more like, as far as what I put out, at least. Yeah. My listening is everywhere.
Yeah.
But I put out a lot of like industrial metal type stuff myself. Cool. So like what I used to do is we're talking years ago, I was an idiot kid. I'm not saying this is a good thing. I would scream until my voice like blew out, like a couple hours before the show, and then like let it bring itself back. And for some reason that just always made it work through a whole set.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the opposite.
Oh, no. I wouldn't smoke. I used to smoke clove cigarettes. I wouldn't smoke for like a day or two before the show.
Yeah.
But then I would just do that weird like blow my voice out and then let it kind of fix itself. And I would drink a lot of orange juice, which almost all singers will tell you is not a good idea.
Yeah.
But it coats the throat. I don't know. And yes, that's what she said.
The one record we did like quite a long time ago, and I quit smoking for a couple of years, and I went to the studio, and I just wasn't getting the tones, and I was like, I just need to start smoking again, I just took it, and I just was chain smoking all day, all week, and I was getting these really low gut rolls, and I was like, this is cool, But then I had to quit the cigarettes again after that. But it's just fucked up. It's not like just picking up an instrument. It's flesh and blood and muscle and mucus
and sure and use over time.
Yeah, it takes conditioning and
oh my god,
care and
Some of these guys, they can just it's crazy. The stuff.
Yeah, I mean that Corpse Grinder guy that you watched last night. I seen them play about 2 or 3. Well, no, it would have been way before the COVID shit. Over in the UK and just the intensity of that singer,
He was whipping his hair around and just, his neck muscles must be like,
Well, you've seen the size of his throat, like his neck.
What I'm saying. That's why his neck is that size, because he just. And he was, shitting on the audience because he's like, nobody headbangs no more. Why is that? Nobody's got long hair. That's why you're all pussies.
Just the aggression and just the attitude he has on stage is just. Whoa.
Nobody has long hair anymore. What?
I know. Well, you weren't at the show, were you?
No, I wasn't.
All right, well, then you weren't representing the long hair.
I was busy moving. I'm so sorry.
It's all good, bro. So,
I still got to listen to his new solo record.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I haven't heard it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
The one song I listened to is really good. Like a friend of ours has actually played guitar in a bunch of those songs.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's the friend?
Charlie Belmore, he plays with Dee Snider also, and he's in like 50,000 local bands around here. Like, so he's, you know, one of our like local legend type people that plays around there. And they've got Kings and Liars and
oh my God.
I can't even remember. He's got so many bands. Him and Bodette, they got so many bands.
I know.
For many years now, with our radio station and all of our friends and the metal scene we've been in New York and Connecticut and New Jersey and stuff, like we've been so lucky.
Oh my
God.
God.
We've been surrounded by talent that's just amazing.
Yeah, some of these bands here, like they're like Chaotic from Connecticut.
Oh, they're so disgusting.
It's just so that the drummer plays in two death metal bands. One's a true death metal that's Chaotic, and then the other band is Continuum, which is like a melodic death metal. So it's got like ebbs and flows and shit. But dude, he's a machine. He's a machine.
Female fronted.
Yeah, female fronted too. Continuum. But he's a machine. Watching him, it's unreal, and it doesn't look like he's ever breaking a sweat. But he is just throwing down like machine gun fire. It's like, whoa, dude!
It's like he's behind the kit just doing yoga, man. Like it's yeah. He's not a fucking human. He's not fucking human.
Can't be.
When I got to see like a grind band or a death metal band, like one of the most interesting thing is always the drummer. I think, you know, just the speed and the power and the energy of a human being can create. Yeah. You know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So this one's gonna throw you. What's the least metal track you have in your personal collection that you actually listen
to? I listen to like Irish traditional music as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so there's probably like some band you heard of called Clanad.
Okay.
But they're from like the 70s.
Yeah.
So they got this kind of like laid back kind of hippie crossover traditional shit. So
cool.
I think that. And that's not metal at all.
Yeah, right.
I think I know where this is going.
What's that?
I thought you were gonna roast me.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. He makes fun of my musical choices outside of metal sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Well, just because it's fun to do on the air, you know.
It really is. I'm not even gonna lie.
So one of my favorite questions I always like to ask people that I talk to, like yourself, is if you can go on tour with any band, dead or alive, who do you go out on tour with?
Oh man. The thing is, I don't like to meet my heroes. I always get like let down, or I don't know. But like, you know, I've played a lot of these bands that I wanted to play with anyway. You know, like we've been played a good bit with Napalm Death, and
wow,
we've played one show with Morbid Angel, and that was like, for me, that was amazing. Yeah. But then when I actually met the guys, I was like, oh, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. That's such a bummer, man.
Yeah, they've just got they're cool. They just got a different attitude about how things should be done, I guess. Yeah. I'll tour with anybody, you know, once they're cool, once they're not fucking assholes.
Yeah, right. Just playing must be.
Well, so say you didn't have to meet them, separate tour bus, whatever.
Yeah,
like you could watch them every night, but like there's a way to avoid meeting them.
I guess like, you know, I could tour with D-Side or something. That'd be awesome.
That would be sick.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah. They're like one of the cool bands that I've always liked, or whatever. Or something like fucking Slayer or something like that. Yeah, let's say Slayer.
Slayer would be cool.
When you guys play your shows, like what's your typical venue? Like where are you playing?
Oh, we play all over, man. Like we can play anything from, you know, we play festivals in Europe on a big stage in front of, I don't know, 8,000 people, 10,000 people, or you could
that's insane.
Play a little squat, you know, like a fucking crusty squat somewhere,
right?
Party place with like no stage. And
so like the local pubs, they don't put up with the brutal metal, do they?
Oh, in Dublin, there's a metal bar that handles a lot of.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and also there's one or two or three other venues that will handle metal as well.
Europe,
so it's quite cool in Dublin. It wouldn't have been like that when we were starting out, but I think they've realised now that there's a market there, and it's, you know, there's money to be made. And I guess years ago there was a lot of like mosh pits and slamming shit, and things would get fucked up and people would get hurt. And nowadays everyone's got their phone out, so it's a lot safer and it's not such a big deal. And also everybody's in their fucking 40s now, you know, they're not.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I saw Cannibal Corpse. I sat in a seat. I was not nowhere near the pit, you know, no way. I'm too old for that. I don't want to be knocked around.
Yeah.
I got to buy my ministry ticket today, and I'm like really on the fence. Do I get a seat or do I not get a seat? I know the spot that it's at, so it's like it's not going to be too bad either way, but like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I kind of want to sit down.
I went to see, I think I see ministry about 15 years ago in Dublin, in Ireland. So
I think first time I saw him was around 15 years ago. It was on the
it's probably the same tour then, whatever.
Could have been. It was right after the Animasa Samana album. It was like a which tour was it? It had all the weird names of the tours. It was like the I don't know Masturbate tour or something like that. And then I saw him on the See You Lay tour.
I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So one of the loudest shows I've ever been to in my life, though, surprisingly, was Ministry. Definitely.
So it sounds like your situation there is very similar to what we got here, in that we have got like a handful of like true metal venues, like houses of metal. You know, our favorite one is called Cherry Street Station, and it's a house of metal. Like you go there, there's metalheads there, there's metal on the jukebox. That's what happens, you know.
It's home.
It's home.
And then there's some larger venues that'll accommodate all sorts of music.
Yeah.
But
these are places that like will accommodate, you know, up and coming bands as well, not just the big bands that come around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's important. I mean, that's how you make.
People need to start out, you know, and you need to build a scene that way as well.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah. We participated in uniting several states worth of metal scenes into one giant family.
Yeah.
That's one of our biggest accomplishments in our radio lives.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, you guys are talking about Dee Snider there a minute ago. Like, he's from New York, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's originally from Long Island.
Yeah, so, you know, when he started out in the 80s and that, like, and they were playing like every night to fucking thousands of people. And it's like, it's just amazing to think that kind of scene could exist in a city.
Yeah, no doubt, for real. Because, I mean, we go to shows, it's 100 at the most, you know, you're seeing 100 people. You know, and now it's starting to come back. Of course, now once this COVID stuff is over, you know, people are going to want to go to shows. They're going to want to go.
Yeah, they're itching to get out of their houses
and go see stuff and experience that again. Yeah,
yeah.
Fun Dee Snider tidbit. In the back in the 80s, my like great aunt used to live in the same building as Twisted Sister out on Long Island, and she used to talk about him. She would always be like, "Oh, they're such nice boys."
Let me tell you something, man. When I was
so funny.
When I was a kid, this is a true story. My dad had that Hungry for Stink album where he's biting that big mutton chop. I was a little kid, and he used to like pull that thing out. He's like, Twisted Sister's gonna get you if you don't eat your vegetables, man. Like, so I was scared as fuck of Twisted Sister until I got older and I realized, wait a minute, Twisted Sister's not a perk. Like, oh man, like, damn your dad.
Stay hungry, was it?
Stay hungry. That's it. That's it.
We did lose a couple venues to COVID, though.
Yeah, we did. We did lose a couple.
I think everybody did.
Yeah. I think. Well, we were kind of lucky in Ireland because the government bailed them out a bit.
Oh, that's good.
They paid their bills and shit while they were shut down. And
nice.
Don't know how that worked over there, but you guys, but there was a lot of support, financial support for them. So
yeah,
most people have stayed open and were able to keep it up, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Were you allowed to play right through the pandemic, or was there a gap?
No, man, we were locked down for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys were locked down a lot sooner and longer than we were, which is probably smarter.
I thought that. I think, yeah, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. The whole thing is just fucked.
It was crazy, huh? It's crazy.
I'm happy that's kind of just over. Well, hopefully it's over.
Yeah, it's times that we live in. It's crazy, crazy.
We actually did some concerts over Zoom.
Yeah.
Are you guys back to play in person now, or?
No, we haven't played since 2018.
Wow.
Because we played that Christmas 2018, and then we decided to take like 9 months off because the guitar player had some kids.
Oh, nice.
Quite young, so we were like, okay, fuck it. Instead of just stressing you out, we'll just take a break. Yeah. And then the COVID thing happened. Then at the end of that, so we were like, oh shit.
Yeah, now what? Now we can't do it.
And then so we've been kind of out of action, and then we recorded the new album there last August. So we were concentrating on that. But we've got a gig in April
Nice.
Festival in Ireland. And then, you know what? We had a couple of gigs sorted for Ukraine.
And obviously that's not going to happen.
Obviously,
right
that's
now.
fucked now. So,
Yeah.
and
So the gig in April's your album reveal, or
no, we can't. Well, it's just been worked on. A label messaged me today. He said that he's got the artwork. He's finishing the artwork and he'll send that to me.
That's awesome.
So they're going to do that. They're going to reveal that next week, I think.
Nice.
And we'll start the promotion for that, and hopefully it'll be out in a month or two. So,
all right, so here's a good one for you. What was your worst show ever, and what was your best show ever for you?
Personally,
yeah, like for you playing.
Worst show, we support Suffocation in Ireland, and I got way too drunk. I just completely under it. Like I just started drinking like whiskey and shit, and then I was just fucking on a different planet, you know.
Yeah.
I was just like playing with no lead in, and I was just talking to the drummer and playing different songs and shit. And it was a completely very embarrassing. The Suffocation guys were going, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, why
I was like, "Oh no!" So yeah, that was quite embarrassing. I haven't done anything like that ever again. But and then I guess the best shows, probably some of the headlining shows we've done around Russia and South America, places like that.
It's got to be mental to go to a place and just having headbangers anywhere, man. That's what I'm saying. Music is universal. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, some of the shows in South America are insane.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah. So just to be able to headline like a show to so many.
So how many you think? Like 10,000, 15,000?
What people?
Yeah.
Well, not the South America ones were small gigs. So
okay.
They were like 100 to 500 people, maybe.
Okay.
The festivals in Europe, like Obscene Extreme.
Yeah.
I think just like 16.
Wow.
000 at that.
So what does that feel like walking out there and there's 16,000? Like that's gotta be pretty awesome.
That was a cool gig because like there was like we played at like 1 or 2 in the morning. So
wow.
It was like there's people there with Irish flags up and shit. It was quite cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was a good gig. Yeah, I prefer playing the little shows, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, it's way more intimate.
Yeah, there's more energy off the crowd. I
Yeah.
think when you're up on a big stage in the open air and everybody's like 20 feet below you, it's a bit there's no chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's plenty of energy, but you don't have that like magic, you know. You're not. It's harder to make a connection in that side of a setting.
I feed off that, you know, when we're playing. It really makes me happy that energy coming back. So
absolutely, I fully understand that.
And to be part of the crowd and the band are kind of like together, like buzzing on the same buzz. It's a good place to be at.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to get that in the bigger venues. So I really like playing, you know, even the little shitty DIY squats.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of those places are the best places because again, it's not even just about the band and the connection of the people, but the place itself has a certain heart and energy to it as well because it houses bands like yourselves. You feel it's the whole experience. The whole experience. Yeah, I love going to that's why we love going to local shows and seeing our favorite local bands. You know, because
absolutely
you get to see them with 50, 100 people. And you're all banging your heads and you're all experiencing it communally. And, there's not a whole lot of the cell phones and everybody's kind of paying attention and
Yeah. So,
sometimes you get too drunk, you jump on stage, you grab a mic, If it's your friends, they won't kick you off, at least not right away.
Yeah. Well, me and my girlfriend were watching old Napalm Death videos there the night. We were having a few drinks and just seeing everybody on stage. There's like 20 people on stage and there's 4 guys in the band, and everyone just constantly jumping off. It's just or these all DRI gigs as well. Like you can see,
we had DRI at Cherry Street, and I didn't even get to go inside and watch them. It was so packed and crazy.
Well, it's such a small little venue, that place. But
when was this? Recently, or
is either I think it was right before the pandemic started, so probably 2020 or maybe into 2019ish.
I think they have Murphy's Law playing there, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken.
That's pretty crazy.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, DRI in New York as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, have you ever played any shows in Germany?
Yeah, we played a festival called Fuck the Commerce, which is 2003 or something. And then we did a tour of the East, did like a couple of gigs around East Germany, Dresden, and then a couple up on the coast. We've been back to do another gig called fucking festival called Way of Darkness. There was another festival called Grind the Nazi Scum. And we played in Berlin a few times. We played Germany quite a lot actually. It's awesome.
What's your favorite like obscure country or whatever that you played, but like not necessarily for the show, just like in general, coolest place you visited, I guess, through touring?
Oh, there's so many. Like the South America was quite interesting. It's a complete culture shock, playing these tiny little gigs in Ecuador, and then next night you're playing this massive gig fucking outside. It's just, and everybody's got these, Peruvian hats on, and everybody's on cocaine because everyone just takes cocaine. It's pretty cool. But Russia was quite interesting as well because you'd have like the big cities, Moscow, St. Petersburg. They're like normal what you'd have in Western Europe, and then you go out and play these little gigs all around all the smaller cities, and they're just like nuts. Everyone's got its own little culture, and everyone's different. It's amazing. Just one thing I enjoy as well is like driving from one show to the next and just seeing the countryside and stopping and getting something to eat at the shops and just seeing all the different shit that's going on. It's just
that's one of my favorite things to do as well.
Some dude and I found this cool little island called the Faroe Islands. If you heard dude, the metal there is awesome.
Really? Okay, tell me about that. Because that's what's that? It's in Portugal, is it?
Yeah,
Faroe Islands. Where the fuck is that?
I think it's under Finland, just underneath there. It's a small little island. He said it was like 10,000 people or something like that. But dude, the
Scotland,
metal,
isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's up north. It's North Scotland and the Atlantic there.
Yeah.
There's fucking nothing there. So you're telling me there's some cool bands?
Yeah, there's definitely some brutal metal coming out of there, man.
Yeah, Faroe Islands is like north of Ireland, more like by Iceland, like in the middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of these old Viking islands that.
Yeah, dude.
They get brutal metal and they slaughter dolphins and all kinds of shit. Those people are fucked, man.
Wow.
Shit, the metal is good there, though.
Yeah, we should try and get a gig there.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And one of the most fun festivals I've ever been to was in Leipzig, East Germany. It's called Full Force Festival, and it literally went all day for 2 days straight. Basically from like 9 a.m. to like 2 in the morning.
I've heard of that place.
And that shit was epic, man. My alone American ass was living in East Germany for a year or two, and I went to that shit by myself. That was fucking epic.
Oh. You didn't have any German friends you could bring down?
Not
to something like that.
No.
But yeah.
See, some dude's kind of a scumbag, so nobody really likes him.
A shit ton of bands. Got my head beat in a bunch of times. Got this blowjob from this crazy German bitch with the tattoos all over her arms. And
cool.
Yeah, it was quite an experience.
Sounds like a fun day out.
Yeah, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, the way that the metal shows were much more violent.
Yeah, that's
now it's a lot more people taking it easy, just enjoying the music.
I mean,
not every show bursts into a pit anymore,
Yeah.
See the way my back is set up?
Right.
Well, some of the most violent shows that we played were in Russia. Those guys would just kick the absolute shit out of each other. I mean, they're just punching each other in the face.
I'm somehow not surprised.
Dude, Tacet Fury from there is TACET Fury, FURY. Dude, those guys
from where?
From Russia. They're oh my dude. This stuff is brutal. So good.
Most violent fucking show I've ever witnessed was one of my first Slipknot shows in New York State, and Rammstein played with them too. So like this contingent of these fucking like neo-Nazi asshole shaved heads showed up. Right. Oh my God. I've never seen blood like that at a show.
So what, they start kicking the shit out of themselves or everybody else, or everybody started kicking the shit out of them? Or?
Everybody. I tried to take a head off of one of the Nazi fuckers, man, and
Yeah.
It was
I think Rammstein they attract these people. So
yes. Yeah. But then the Slipknot people clashed with the Nazi idiots, and it was fucking crazy as show. I've never seen anything quite like that since. Actually, I've never seen that much blood at a show before. That wasn't intentional.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah,
I saw Rammstein back in like '98. It was awesome.
98 was that?
I saw Rammstein back in '98. It was one of my first real big shows.
I planned to go and see them recently, but I've never seen them. But because of the COVID, they've cancelled a lot of shit. And then also they always headline these big stadium gigs, and they're really expensive.
Yeah.
And then and then you got to pay the Ticketmaster guy, convenience fees and this fee and that fee.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, totally. It's like
they're playing in New Jersey coming up.
It's $50 tickets. No, it's $300. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, it's like up to $600, I think, for tickets. It's nuts.
It's nuts.
So you got some other Irish bands we should check out? Any recommendations? People you play with? Your favorites? Your buddies? What you got?
Okay, so there's lots of brutal death metal, if that's what you're into. There's some defunct bands that I really like they don't exist anymore, like Morphosis, Putrefy. There's cool bands at the moment called Malthusian. You ever heard of them? It's pretty kind of it's kind of cacophonous, obscure, messy death metal that's quite popular now. So Malthusian, check them out. And there's a band called Astral Tomb that use our studio. Bacterium, there's some real cool death metal bands there.
Awesome. Yeah, dude, I'll send you a couple links when we're done. To some
I'll
of the
check out your Paddy's Day show, and then you see what you can pick out.
Yeah, we're actually thinking about doing a tournament of Brutality, 16 bracket, figure out which band, which song, which track is the most brutal.
Yeah, so it's a good competition.
There's gonna be a
lot of hard work.
Yeah, there's gonna be fights in the studio. It's like, no way, dude. There's no way those guys are more brutal than these guys. No fucking way.
That sounds good.
Yeah, there's gonna be a fight over that.
For sure.
So once your new album is out, do you have a preferred track that you would like us to give a little love to?
Well, yeah. Well,
I mean, we'll play probably all of them, but I mean, if you have a preference of one that we'd start it with at least.
Well, I think my favorite one is Killing Spree. We've had that out now on MP3 or online for a bit now, and I think there's a video.
Nice.
So Killing Spree, pretty unoriginal name, but it's quite violent, and it's about killing.
Awesome.
In different ways.
So
them, them.
A friend of mine runs an online zine, and there was discussion about why do death metal bands talk a lot about fetuses and aborting, and what's that deal? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't have any song. I've never written a song about a fetus or an abortion, so
probably just because it's brutal and controversial.
Yeah, probably. That's what I was thinking too. My thought on the matter is
there's a creepy kind of thing, guys just seem to get into women's bits and pieces. They just want to talk about them getting dissected, and they like all the blood and gore coming out.
Yeah, right. Because it's like old horror and stuff, movies.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Entrails ripped from a virgin's cunt is my favorite hymnal.
No, it's not something that ever appealed to me. I was always more into the Deus Ex, Morbid Angel.
Right. No, I fully agree with you. Absolutely.
So it's never something, or I've been into the political stuff like Napalm Death.
Although for a while I wasn't a part of a brutal industrial thing called Steel to Abortion, but I didn't name it.
Yeah. So basically, you kick somebody and then they have an abortion.
Right.
Is that it?
Yeah, I guess that was the the thought behind it. Yeah.
But that's a lot of these death metal bands that have brutal names, and then you meet the guys and they're all like teddy bears. It's really quite interesting,
Like my buddies in Bile.
Bile.
Yeah, the bass player is just big brutal looking dude, bald, tattooed head, looks like a demon on stage. And then like I remember the first time I met him in person, like I walked up and I heard him say to somebody else, I was like, I'm so sick. I need some Dristan. I'm like, I didn't know. He's like the sweetest dude ever. Let me into a show like 4 hours early once because I had to pee.
Nice. I mean,
he was like, oh, your hair got so long. I'm like, that gets me to pee, right? Cool.
It's the square guys in the suits you gotta be worried about.
Yeah,
they're fucking stab you in the back, man.
For sure.
I work in an office. You're absolutely accurate in that statement.
I agree, man. Every day, 5 days a week, 60 hours a week, whatever, I am paid to not be metal. And then once the other phone gets turned off, then I'm just being me and being metal and swearing, and that's just.
I'm still pretty metal at work. Like I work like I said, I work in an office, but like I look like this. Like I mean, you guys know how I roll. Like fucking everybody knows that. Like on my desk, I got like leather bound like fucking like desk appliance shit. Like to put all my pens and pencils and shit. Like it's all fucking leather, and like I'm ordering this pen. It's like 6,500-year-old fucking like bog oak. And I'm gonna have my name engraved on it and Jesus. Shit. Like I'm the weirdo, man. Cool. And then I got a picture of my kid up on my on the shelf of my cubicle.
Yeah, nice.
Cute. Like I showed up to like when we first had to go back to work after the COVID and everything. I couldn't find a good mask, so I was just wearing this one. It's like a skeletal face with like a just like janky beard. It's basically me with better teeth. And, and I was rocking that in the office. Like the CEO comes up and he's like, just shooting the breeze with me. Like nobody said anything. They're like, that's just Bart.
So that must be the bit of Irish in you again with the bad teeth.
Right.
Is that and I just found out a couple years ago I have acid reflux. So like
me too.
I'm almost 40, so apparently that's been eating away at my teeth. So I did the non-metal thing and I upped my FSA this year so I could start fixing my teeth.
Right, that's interesting. I got really bad acid reflux as well, and my teeth are fucked as well. So maybe that's the story.
Yeah, same thing with my mother. She had bleeding ulcers, horrible acid reflux. Nice. She had to have all of her. She got full false teeth. Yep. I hope I'm trying to nip it in the bud before that. I'm on the medication for the acid reflux so I can eat my ghost peppers and everything. Yeah.
It's pretty metal, vomiting acid and dissolving your.
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah.
Right on. Well, Steve, look, I don't want to take up any much more of your time. Do you guys have any other good questions that you'd like to ask Steve? I have one last request before we go. I need you to cut us a little like artist ID. This is Steve from Abaddon Incarnate, and you're tuned into the Effin' Show.
What's the show? Effin'?
Yep. FN. Yep.
FN.
Yep. Effin'. Yep.
Like fucking.
Like fucking, but effin'.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want me to do that now?
Yeah, you can do that now, please.
Okay, this is Steve from Abaddon Incarnate, and you're tuned into the Effin' Show.
Awesome. Man, thank you so much for your time today, man. This has been awesome.
Hell yeah, this is really great.
Thanks for supporting my band, and I'm glad that you're digging it. And
yeah, I can't wait for the new record, man. I'll be watching the Instagrams and the Twitters and the
I'll send you a copy.
Oh, hey, thanks. That'd be awesome.
And see if I can get you guys a t-shirts as well.
Oh, that would be rad, dude. Thank you so much.
Nice. I'm a size fat fuck.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. I might have some fat fuck t-shirts around.
That is amazing.
Okay, man. So, is that it?
Yeah, man, we're all set. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
nice talking to you guys.
Really appreciate you taking the time for us.
Let's talk to you soon.
See ya.
Later.
See ya. Fuck you, Nub.
Fuck you.